Hey guys, welcome back for another video. We got a fun one prepared. What we're going to be doing is we'll be breaking down and reviewing. This is our instant reaction to the Notre Dame versus Penn State matchup we just had come up for the semifinals of the 24-25 college football playoff. We're going to react to the game, react to the outcome, look at the stats, try to see maybe what this might be setting up for our national championship game. But we did have Notre Dame beat the Penn State Nittany Lions. First things first, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. If you have any comments about this game or anything else, please drop it below and I will respond. Every week, we go over every single college football game. We did every bowl this season, and we're going to be breaking down every game up to the national championship and then also covering college football in the offseason. We also have the NFL playoffs starting this weekend. A lot going on in the world of football. If you're a football fan, if you're a sports fan, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel so you can follow along with us. So obviously, we're going to be looking at ESPN here, looking at the reaction to the game. We had Notre Dame, the Irish, beat the Penn State Nittany Lions 27-24. Number 7, Notre Dame, 14-1. First off, you have to give major props to Marcus Freeman, Denbrock, Al Golden, the coaching staff, what they did for this game, especially since that loss to NIU. This team is completely rebounded. They had massive momentum the entire year. Great second half of the season. Carried that momentum in the playoffs. They have not missed a beat in any way whatsoever. The largest margin of victory in college football this season. They've been hitting on all strides. Passing game has not necessarily been the best this season, but they've been able to dominate on the defensive side, at the line of scrimmage, and in the rushing attack when they need to throw. The rushing game has definitely opened up the play action, and it was working wonders today. They win 27-24. Penn State, even though you lost overall, right now you went 13-3. You lost that one game in the Big Ten championship, but you guys had a really solid season. Great year, great season for James Franklin. Now, I have to call it is what it is. You have to call it out when you get picks wrong. I picked Penn State to win this game. I think my predicted score was 24-21 or 23-20, somewhere around there. But I had Penn State getting the upset. They didn't win. I give major props to Notre Dame. I did pick Notre Dame to beat Georgia. I had them beating Georgia big. That happened, but I called the Penn State game wrong. We call them wrong. Sometimes we call them right, but it is what it is. Notre Dame won the game fair and square. The score could have even been more, but Notre Dame did have 2 interceptions in the end zone called back on flag. So obviously, both of those things, when they went back to Penn State, those resulted in touchdowns, kind of padded Penn State a little bit. Penn State had this game. They got up 10-0. Riley Leonard goes down, but Notre Dame gets that field goal to end the first half. You don't want to underestimate how much of a momentum break that was for Angeli to come in, lead that team down the field, throwing the ball. They were prepared for Notre Dame to run. And when he came out throwing as the backup, completely caught Penn State's defense off guard. Great play calling from Denbrock there, showing confidence in the backup quarterback. That got them that field goal. That bought them some momentum when they had the ball to start the second half. Looking at the breakdown, obviously 0-0 first quarter. This was, like I said, these teams are mirror images of one another. They both play the same style of football, very physical teams. They're run-heavy, run-first teams. They want to establish the game, the pace of the game at the line of scrimmage. They want to play time of possession. They want to run the ball, play action, dominate the time clock. 0-0 first quarter. Second quarter, Penn State got those 10 points, but Notre Dame able to get that field goal at halftime to go down 10-3 starting half. They got the ball. They dominated the third quarter, got that touchdown, dominated the first portion of the fourth quarter, and then obviously the flags, the picks. Drew Waller, a lot of very questionable throws. A lot of people was saying that he's coming back for his senior season, but they said if he had a great playoff, if he made the national championship, he was probably going to bounce for the draft. After this game, there was no way that you can declare for the draft after that performance. He did not look good today. A lot of bad throws, especially that throw at the end of the fourth quarter that led to the interception. What are you doing throwing across your body, throwing in the coverage? Aaron throws when you're out of the pocket. Dump the ball away. You can throw it away. Just get it past the line of scrimmage. He threw it into coverage across his body. It got picked off with like 35 seconds left, ultimately ended in the field goal. But it is what it is. Great catch, great snag there by the secondary for Notre Dame. And of course, Notre Dame also owns the fourth quarter. Notre Dame dominated the second half. I said whoever established the run the most consistently able to suck up the most clock, win in the second half. Notre Dame showed their depth. They're down a lot of starters. They were down Leonard for one point. They were down Love for a lot of the time, and they continue to play better. Defensive stars going down. They showed their depth. They showed how coached they were, how disciplined they were. They went down 10-0 in the semifinals. They did not panic at all. You have to give props to this team, but you definitely have to give a lot of props to Marcus Freeman. His personality has integrated itself in this team. Somewhere right now, Brian Kelly's very pissed off. He left Notre Dame, said, you can't win there in the way that college football is established right now. Then the NIL came out. All of that, throw it out the window. Brian Kelly's sitting at the house. Marcus Freeman and Notre Dame, they get the chance to go to the national championship to potentially play either Texas or the Ohio State Buckeyes. Looking at the stats here, Riley Leonard obviously threw for a lot more yards than he did at Georgia game. When he had 90 yards passing that game and 80 yards rushing. Right now, he went 15 to 23, 223 yards, 9.7 average, 1 touchdown, 2 pick. And I said, do not underestimate what Steve Angeli did coming in at the end of the second half to get that field goal. That field goal mattered immensely, bought them some momentum, took some off the pressure going into that second half. He went 6 of 7. That's great for a backup. Backup comes in. They were slinging the ball, caught Penn State off guard. He had 44 yards. Obviously, Jeremiah Love, 45 yards rushing. Riley Leonard, 35 yards. He didn't get a lot of yards on the ground, but Leonard and his legs potentially made the difference. I've been saying since he played at Duke, not a great passer, not an accurate passer by any means, but one thing he can do, he can scramble, he can use his legs, he can extend plays. Penn State, the defense under Allen, very aggressive defensive line, very aggressive linebackers. They blitz a lot. They bring a lot of coverage. Top 10 in sacks, quarterback pressures, tackle for a loss. They're going to try to keep you in that pocket, bottle you up. But if Riley Leonard could get out of that pocket, or there's a couple times he went right up the middle, picked up 5-6 yards, that can make a difference. That's a massive pickup. Sets up for short second, third downs. And obviously, Greathouse, that touchdown catch he had, that was a massive momentum change. He stepped up big this game. They needed someone from that wide receiver core to step up. They didn't have Collins this game. Facing when you needed catches, he was there. But Jaden Greathouse, he was the man on the wide receiver core. 7 receptions, 105 yards, 15-yard average, 1 touchdown. And then looking at Penn State, Drew Waller, 12 of 23, 135 yards, 1 pick. It could have easily been 3 to 4 picks. A lot of errant throws. Riley Leonard did not have his best day passing, but he outperformed Drew Waller. Drew Waller with the better wide receiver core, with the best tight end in the country, was outgained almost double by Riley Leonard through the air. They were not able to throw the ball. Yes, they had a lot of success on the ground, but that did not translate. They were not able to suck enough time off the clock because Notre Dame's offense got hot second half. They were able to keep Penn State's offense off the field. That was a difference maker. Looking at one of the best 1-2 running back combos in the country. Singleton, Allen. Singleton, 15 carries, 84 yards, 5.6 average, 3 touchdowns. You would think they won the game. He had a great performance. And then Allen right there with him, 19 carries, 82 yards, 4.3 average. These guys back and forth, one of the best punches, keeping them fresh, cycling them in. They had 42 total runs. They were running the ball a lot, but not enough second half because they couldn't get enough possessions. And looking at that receiving core, I said Tyler Warren is the X factor, the best tight end in the nation. He showed that USC game, 18 receptions. He could take over a game on his own. They were able to control him. Yeah, he still got 6 receptions, 75 yards, but that's actually a decrease from what a lot of people were banking on. They had a lot of people picking props for Tyler Warren to get a touchdown. He runs the ball, catches the ball. He's the X factor. They use him everywhere. The best tight end in the nation. They were at least able to keep him off the field, especially second half, able to control him, keep him at bay. And Penn State doesn't have a good offense. I've been saying the entire season, it's a serviceable offense, but Notre Dame had the better offense. I thought Penn State would dominate the run game. That would make the difference. And their defense is almost as good as Notre Dame's, just slightly under, but they're practically even. But Notre Dame, again, back-to-back weeks, they beat up Georgia. They beat up Penn State at the line of scrimmage. Their offensive line actually able to hold up that second half. They gave up a lot of sacks first half, but they own the second half. That comes down to discipline from the team, and that comes down to coaching. Penn State outcoached and outplayed in the second half, and that's the money time. That's when it matters. Looking at the team stats here, practically even, very close game. This game was destined for overtime, but Drew Waller said, nope, we don't need overtime. We're just going to give them the ball back. Looking at the team stats here, Notre Dame, 23 first downs, Penn State 20, for third down. Notre Dame 11 of 17. Penn State lost the third down battle, 3 of 11. Total yards, Notre Dame 383. Penn State 339. They were outgaining Notre Dame that first half, but Notre Dame, I've been saying it over and over, they dominated the second half. Notre Dame 267 yards passing, Penn State only 135. Who would have thought you with Tyler Warren, you would only throw for 135, and Tyler Warren had like 60% of those yards. They had nothing through the air, but that's a testament to how disciplined Notre Dame's secondary was playing. Yes, a lot of pass interference calls, but without those pass interference flags, they have 3 picks this game. And obviously, this game goes from a 3-point win to a complete blowout favoring Notre Dame. And on the ground, Notre Dame 116, Penn State 204. They were able to establish the run. That's what they wanted to do, but it wasn't successful enough in the second half. Penalties, 4 for 30 for Notre Dame, 5 for 44 for Penn State. Penn State wins the turnover battle, but they lost. It all comes down to situational football. That awful, bad decision throw, 35 seconds left, led to the interception, led to the Notre Dame victory. They gave it up, but Notre Dame took it when they had the chance. Gotta love it. I found myself, because I didn't have a dog in this fight, I just wanted the best team to win. These teams mirrored one another. I would have been happy with either one of them making it. They haven't won championships since the 80s. I love seeing these old brands get in there. Love seeing them get back. Props to Notre Dame. You got to love Marcus Freeman. The guy's a great coach. He's a great guy. Seems like a really good dude. Seems like he has his players' best interest, and he doesn't take credit for himself. He always passes it downstream to his coaches and to his players on his team. But it looks like we're going to have the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. I think it's the 20th. That's when the national championship is. They're going to be playing the Buckeyes, or they're going to be playing Texas. They are very familiar with the Buckeyes. So if they play them, obviously that game last season, great game, but this is 2 different teams this season. It's going to be a trench warfare line of scrimmage game, but it's setting up to be a fun one. Guys, that's just the instant reaction to our semifinal here, the Orange Bowl matchup, Notre Dame, Penn State. Notre Dame moves on, and the season continues. Thanks for watching. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. If you have any comments, please drop it below, and I will respond. Thank you.